Hello, we're glad to have you join us. Welcome to the program, this edition covering Nigeria Southeast. I am Bukola Koka, but first we'll start with the main stories. The National Judicial Council, under the chairmanship of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, at its plenary of the 105th meeting held on the 15th and 16th of May 2024, resolved to issue warning letters to Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court and Justice G.B. Brickins Okolosi of Delta State High Court. A statement by the NJC Director of Information, Sojoye, says Justice Ekwo is warned for abuse of discretionary power of a judge by wrongly granting an ex parte order in a suit between Juliet Eberenwadi Baka and two others, two OIS versus Seplat Energy PLC and 12 others. Justice Ekwo is also barred from being elevated to a higher bench for a period of 2 years. Honorable Justice G.B. Brickins Okolosi of Delta State High Court, on his part, is also issued a warning for failure to deliver judgment within stipulated period in Joseph Anene Okafor versus Skybank after parties had filed and adopted their final written addresses. Justice Brickins Okolosi will also not be elevated to a higher bench for a period of 3 years. The NJC also cautioned Justice Amina Shehu of Yobe State High Court for issuing writ of possession, conferring title on the defendant in a suit when there was no subsisting judgment of any court to enable his lordship issue the writ. And now to Newsroom Series Southeast. Following the report of the 2024 Annual Flood Outlook launched by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, identifying 148 local government areas across 31 states as high flood risk areas for 2024, some states have begun putting in place measures to combat flooding. Anambra, Ebonyi and Imo states identified in the report have put measures in place to mitigate potential flood impacts in their areas. Our correspondent, Iyitokwe Kutei, gives a report on the level of preparedness of some of the states in the southeast region.
The pain and agony of losing one's property, home and farmland to flood can be devastating and catastrophic. In Anambra State, Anambra East local government area is always the worst hit as schools, houses and farmlands get submerged during every flooding season.
We are still praying that it will not happen, but if it happens, we have arranged with one school over there and they have promised to accommodate us. I've even told the members of the community we are equally looking for that is at least one or two, apart from the school. We need other place. At least junior secondary we use the one in the primary school, then senior secondary we use another one.
Relevant government agencies and the Anambra State government are making necessary preparations to ensure that the state is not taken unaware.
The idea is to prepare them well in advance to get ready to evacuate at the slightest notice. And that is the base, that is the beginning of the year's activities for flooding. After that, we watch the rain and see how it goes. And when we see that it's coming and coming and coming, we will go back again, this time with NEMA, to assess the situation, see how it is, and then come back again, get our camps ready for evacuation and reception of people who want to relocate. That is the process, and the whole process is in place now. We are working according to our work plan. All these things I'm telling you are detailed in the Anambra State Emergency Management Work Plan for the year.
It's something that we are working day and night to make sure that we look after these communities. We prepare the emergencies, because obviously it's an emergency. We prepare those ones, but also we are looking at looking forward how to mitigate this problem.
In Ebonyi State, being an agrarian state, farmers are the most affected as their farmlands are always destroyed by flood causing havoc to large number of crops, which sometimes lead to food shortage in the state.
Flood is always affecting our farms here every year. Even if anytime we harvest here, we fill the river for water, the flood will make us not to harvest anything. But we don't have any other place that will corrupt our crops.
The State Commissioner for Human Capital Development, who doubles as the coordinator of the State Emergency Management Agency, Anne Aligwe, says the state government has set aside intervention funds and procured relief items in preparedness.
Before now, he has already sent us to a workshop where we attended a 5 days workshop at Enugu on preparedness and mitigation ways of attacking this year's flood. So immediately after the workshop, when we came back, we had a meeting with him, and he allocated some funds to us where we procured some relief items that we have in our warehouse ready for interventions in case if there are people that are affected by flood in one way or the other.
She adds that the Ministry of Environment under Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, are building waterways to mitigate flooding in the state.
We have been on air announcing to people to prepare for any eventuality. All the people who allowed their gutters to be filled up should clear their gutters so that if there's any heavy downpour, there will be access where the water can pass through.
Coastal and oil-producing communities of Waji, Egbema, and Oguta in Imo State over the years have always experienced devastating flood with houses and farmland submerged. Even though the state government through the Imo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, ISOPADEC, has always come to the aid of flood victims in the area who relieve materials at several occasions, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in Imo State says the agency, in collaboration with the state government and relevant government agencies, have commenced sensitization programs and also put in place modalities in case of any eventuality.
The agency is quite prepared. What we're trying to do is to stockpile some of these relief items. Apart from that, view the sites that are vulnerable, the people that are vulnerable, and the communities that might be overflown by flood, trying to see how we can relocate them. Meetings are ongoing with different stakeholders because NEMA, basically what we do is to coordinate. They will have other people that will also do their job. So when we bring them together on the platform, then we can all sit down to discuss how to help the state in totality.
Hey, hello.
With the level of preparedness put in place by these Southeast states ahead of the 2024 flood, hopefully when flood comes, the damage to houses and farmlands will be minimal. Ejitopakute, Channels Television News.
Away from the weather now, it's the grand finale of the 3-day Anambra State's Techstars Startup Weekend, organized by Solution Innovation District, where young talents and innovative minds converge and in 52 hours put their entrepreneurial spirit and innovative ideas to a critical test, as well as present them before select judges for assessment. According to the Special Advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on Innovation and Business Incubation, Ms. Chinwe Okoli, Governor Chukwuma Soludo's mantra of everything technology and technology everywhere is focusing on making Anambra the Silicon Valley of Africa, where digital solutions will be provided for all challenges in the various sectors of economic development.
It's the final day of the intensive critical thinking and development program of the Solution Innovation District Hub in Awka, the Anambra State capital. Young tech startups, innovators and creative minds are divided in groups and given a time of 52 hours to create ideas and develop them into solutions to health, education, agriculture and economic problems, among others.
Is that we're inspiring new startup ideas. We want to change the startup landscape of Anambra State so that in the next few years, startups will be hearing their names out of of Africa would be from Anambra State.
The grand finale features the tech startups making their presentations before seasoned innovation judges.
You will now select the particular crops that you want to venture into. If it's livestock, then when you click on livestock, we have so many of them. We have poultry, we have fishery. You can click on it.
These 5 groups covered agriculture, health, education, and the environment, among others. After commending the efforts of the tech startups, the judges announced Team Study IQ as winner with a prize of ₦500,000 naira.
We created a product, a platform where tools are provided for students so that they will be able to make learning easier and they'll be able to make learning more better and more efficient. And also, they can upload their PDFs, their textbooks. They can upload their textbooks and generate questions from those textbooks. So they can use those questions to learn. They can collaborate with their classmates. They can collaborate with their friends, and can also answer questions together.
For the special advisor, her office will not only incubate the ideas and give them access to innovators, they will also get government support.
What we're going to be doing after this is to incubate these ideas and then, give them access to investors. And then they have full government support at the Solution Innovation District here. They use our co-working space, they get the free training, they get matched with mentors, and we go all out to promote them to the world, because the whole idea Mr. Governor has is to build the Silicon Valley of Africa right here in Anambra State.
In less than 2 years, the Solution Innovation District has made significant impact on the people of Anambra State through initiatives such as the Code Anambra program, Level Up Anambra program, Teens Digital Bootcamp, and now the Techstars Startup Weekend.
The Abia state government says plans are underway to partner with the nation of Israel for the development of its economic and technological potential, with specific reference to human capital, agriculture, digital economy, and micro, small, and medium enterprises. The state governor, Dr. Alex Oti, said this when the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Michael Freeman, paid him a visit at the government house in Umuahia. Dr. Oti, who was joined by some of his senior aides, said plans were underway to build an Abia Innovation Center to further strengthen the government's resolve to drive innovation.
To listen to you speak passionately about some of the things that are so important to us as a government and as a people. I'm very happy, and I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that the state government will partner with you and work closely with you. In another year, things will look a lot different, particularly with our people, with innovation, with digital technology, and with our micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. Our people don't want to be multinationals. They just want to do their thing in very creative and innovative ways. And I'm very sure that the next trip that you're going to make in less than 1 year, you will see something different.
He received the Director General of NAFDAC.
Sir, also, Machuku, you're also welcome.
Earlier, the Israeli ambassador, Mr. Freeman, said the achievement of having full-time electricity in Abia was very commendable, and the potential offered would allow both governments work on digital economy, technology, science, and agriculture.
It's a message about education, about the digital economy, because these days that is education. You don't necessarily need to have had formal schooling to go into digital education. The achievements of Abba having full-time electricity, something that is not a given again. And I think all of that potential allows us to partner with you on digital economy, on technology, on science, to really think together about how we partner.
The Abia state government and the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, have launched a coordinated campaign against fake drugs, substandard food and other unhealthy products in the state. Speaking at a stakeholder meeting organized by the Ministry of Digital Economy in conjunction with NAFDAC and SME business leaders in Abia, the agency's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, who recounted how she lost her brother over 2 years ago to bad anti-malarial medicine, said under her watch, NAFDAC would not relent in its efforts to eradicate harmful products.
Hardly will you find any family that has not been affected by fake medicines or fake food. I lost my own brother about 2 years plus ago with bad anti-malaria medicine. It's quite right that in some cases people come from outside to register products at NAFDAC, and when they finish, when they get the registration number, they change the formulation on us. So, as part of the strengthening of NAFDAC framework, regulatory framework, we started doing what is called risk-based post-marketing surveillance. Meaning, any product that can be easily faked, any product that can easily break down, I'm just giving examples. We go after them after registration. Any product coming from outside Nigeria must be tested before shipment.
Within the Southeast.
The Abia State Governor, Dr. Alex Oti, who was represented by his deputy, Engineer Ikechukwu Emetu, says the state needs NAFDAC to guarantee the safety of what residents eat and protect genuine entrepreneurs from those who profit from counterfeit products.
The visit of the NAFDAC team came at a very good time. The state is big on the production of food items and other products which are fast-moving consumer goods. I am sure that in the course of our engagements today, we shall learn a few things that will help the MSMEs to adopt the higher standards of best international practices in the production, packaging, and storage of other products. We shall all work together to ensure that whatever is produced here is safe for consumption anywhere in the world.
The Nigerian Red Cross Society has called for collaboration among more stakeholders to enhance community resilience building and reduce the impact of climate-induced disasters, especially flooding. They were speaking at a two-day workshop on resilience building through multi-stakeholder engagement in anticipatory action for climate-induced disaster. That's REBUMA. According to Red Cross, the initiative is to support climate change, adaptation, resilience, and nature-based solution research in Nigeria, Benin Republic, and Togo.
Ogurugu, one of the riverine communities in Uzowani local government area of Enugu State, is usually affected by flood waters, and the losses are innumerable. Although the state and federal government and non-governmental organizations have shown up with palliatives after the flood encounter, it's nothing to compare to lives and property lost to flooding.
We are farmers. We are farmers. I can see it.
In order to mitigate the impact this year, members of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, the State Emergency Management Agency, their national counterpart, and the media are here for a two-day conference on resilience building through multi-stakeholder engagement in anticipatory action for climate-induced disaster. They begin by identifying more stakeholders that must be on board to tackle the impact of flooding in the state, as it's never a one-man's business.
No one person or organization or agency can manage disaster. And that was the reason for this exercise. Do we even know those that should join their hands? I was expecting to see stakeholders like NURTW in our list. They are very relevant. The National Union of Road Transport Workers, true or false? Nobody is mentioning vigilante. That is even the first security that us in our communities. Sometimes when this water starts coming at midnight, they are awake. They are the first set of people sometimes to even raise alarm. Nobody is mentioning that the aggro groups in our communities. When we mention stakeholders, it's not something in the sky. It is just somebody who is relevant or has a stake, something to do to the conversation.
Other participants believe that a lot of difference can be made if the federal and state emergency management agencies become more proactive in disaster management.
The rainy season is here already, and soon this thing occurs every year. It occurs annually, and in fact, the on-the-spot assessments we've carried out, this thing has destroyed a lot of properties. It has cost them their livelihoods. It has even led to death of these community dwellers. So it is a serious matter, and we must have to go back and do what we are supposed to do to prepare for these floods so as to reduce the impact on these community dwellers.
According to the Red Cross, the initiative will also see the support of climate change, adaptation, resilience through nature-based solution.
One rural community, one urban community, and one semi-urban community. Now, the implementation of this anticipatory action will see us developing a gender-sensitive early action protocol. And through this early action protocol, we will then implement the focus-based mechanism for anticipatory action, working with these communities at the center of it.
As the world at large grapple with the issue of climate change, hopes are that every stakeholder will play its part in reducing the impact on human lives and society in general.
And more on preparedness for the possible impact of this year's flooding as predicted by the NIMED and its partners. We have joining us the Executive Secretary of SEMA, Anambra State, Mr. Paul Odenigbo, who is speaking to us via telephone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And I believe you're well also.
I'm okay.
So,
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Earlier on, we saw a report on the preparedness of a number of Southeast states. So what are the guarantees that this mitigation measures put in place would, reduce life considerably compared to what was experienced in year 2022 in these states, and other assurances really that this mitigation strategies would provide?
There's no way it will not survive. It will also reduce the impact of the flooding on the people. But if we're talking about what to do to stop this flooding, why don't we hit the nail at the head? There are two things to be done. I think it's time the federal government begins to think of constructing a dam so that they take absolute control of water inflow and outflow in this country. You can manage this excess water by having a good dam to contain them and release the water to the farmers, even during dry season. That is one point. Another point is, if the federal government is prepared to dredge the Niger and deepen the water, this will as well help. Then another one is embankment. All these are some things, actions that can be taken to reduce the overflow of water, thereby causing damages everywhere. And it is an annual thing. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do, but you can control it. But it is responsibility of the federal government. I don't think any state can do it. That is my thought about that.
Yes, indeed, sir. There's a fair consensus on the need for the dredging of the river and construction of a dam. But some experts also worry that this would also come at a loss to aquatic life and, nature's biodiversity on these areas. What are your thoughts on this?
I agree. Yes, something must give in. the aquatic lives and the human lives, which one is more valuable? Something must give in. I agree we need it, but then with the human beings must be alive first. I'm telling you, this problem will continue to persist until something drastic action is taken. And that's the 2 or 3 things I've mentioned to you. Deepen the Niger, construct embankment, or construct a big dam. That way you control the excess water, damaging our livelihood on a yearly basis.
In the short term, what guarantees are there, or what efforts are there to monitor the water levels in major rivers in some of these southeast states to mitigate the impact of flooding?
Yeah, the NIMET and all the agencies concerned have released the flood outlook this year, and each state, while my own state is preparing very heavily too, as usual. The first step was taken is to sensitize the people. Tell the people it is likely to come again. Let us start early to get ready in the event that it comes. And the people are already getting used to that. Then the state already is preparing for the worst to happen, providing for those who will be affected, where to receive them to, keep them, feed them, and then when the water recedes, they send them back. So these are what we do annually. But I keep saying it's a temporary thing. It's a repetition of activities on an annual basis. Therefore, we are doing our bit. We have informed our people that there will be likely that there will be flooding this year, and as usual, they should prepare so that the shortest notice will evacuate them to a safe ground.
Mr. Paul Odenigbo, Executive Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, Anambra State, thank you very much for your time on the program.
God bless you. Thank you.
And you too. And that sums it up on this edition of the program. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again tomorrow, same time. We'll bring you another edition of Newsroom series covering another region of the country. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.